Hey guys, welcome back to YouTuber Spotlight. I know that intro was a little more subdued than what y'all are probably used to with my other posts, but to be honest with y'all, I'm a little nervous about recording this. I've actually been a little bit nervous about recording this all day. It's not because I want this particular YouTuber Spotlight to be any different from my previous ones or any of my upcoming ones, because that is not the case at all. The reason I'm nervous is because not only have I been a longtime fan of this particular person, I also think of her as an incredible inspiration, not just for up-and-coming content creators such as myself, but also other content creators that are starting their own projects, whether she knows this or not, because I can count on both hands people that she has inspired. And it's not only that, it's also because I consider her a friend by some degree of proxy. But that being said, I want to be able to do this particular content creator justice because it's going to be a little bit different from my other content creators, my other YouTuber spotlights. And I will go into that, and you guys will probably be able to understand why as I delve deeper into this. And it's not just because I consider her a friend. But introductions aside, I want to take tonight's YouTuber spotlight to focus on GirlGamerGab, or GGGab, or just Gab, or Cat Mother. She's got a million different nicknames, y'all. But most notably, she is GirlGamerGab, or just GGGab. So, Gab has been recording stuff to YouTube since roughly 2014, and since she has started that, her project has taken off to the fact that she has over 68,000 subscribers and over 2,000 videos that she was recorded for games. And that is on YouTube alone. That is not counting her Twitch streams that she has done that maybe she hasn't uploaded to YouTube or anything like that. That is a huge portfolio of games to have, and that showcases just how devoted she is to wanting to record these games and show you her opinion and her take on them, as well as spotlight them for the viewers and subscribers to see maybe it's something they want to get, maybe it's something they don't want to get. Anyway, I'm jumping the gun, so just as a little more background, she has been doing this, like I said, for a few years, and she actually, her husband, Pika, aka Gabman, aka Fur Father, I see what I did there, does YouTube games as well, and the two of them are a really cohesive team, and sometimes they do co-ops together, or one of them will show up on the other stream. But to have a husband and wife team like that focuses on YouTube, that focuses on creating Let's Plays of video games or live streams like that, it's really fun. I think that's just a really good intro, just to set the stage. But one of the first big reasons why I like her, and of course this one always takes the forefront, is the style of games she plays. Obviously, you're not going to follow a content creator if you don't like the games they play, unless you're just there to troll them, which, face it, there's always going to be a few trolls out there. But in particular, Gab focuses on primarily the horror genre, which I know what you're thinking right now, but Boogie Night, aren't horror Let's Plays becoming quite the cliche? Everybody seems to be doing it, including myself. A lot of the games that I play are horror-based, but let me just talk a little bit more about the ones that she does. She doesn't just focus on the mainstream games that have just come out, although that is part of her repertoire. She has done the newest Resident Evil. She has done some of the more recent Silent Hill ones. So some of those are mainstream, but that's not to say that's entirely what she focuses on. She also does some of the more indie titles, such as Precipice, or Canarium, or Perception, or some of the stuff you might find on Itch.io, like The Cabin, or on Game Jolt. I remember this stream. So it's a nice little blend of both things you would see on Steam, or in the in GameStop, or whatever video game stores in your neck of the woods, or on Steam or anything like that, because that showcases the up-and-coming developers and the up-and-coming directors and producers for those game titles, as well as things you can expect, like Capcom or Team Silent or anything like that. And that's not to say that horror games are her only thing in her wheelhouse. She has done adventure games like What Remains of Edith Finch, or point-and-click adventure games such as Rabbit Hill, or even the more big action game that has come out called Get Even, or as she and the rest of her followers like to jokingly call it, Get Evan. It's funny when you hear it in context. But one of the coolest things that I like about the style of games that she plays is something that she started doing Gab, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'd like to think this is more recent, that she's doing translations of Japanese horror games. And by that, it's the text is in Japanese, the commentary, the dialogue's in Japanese, and she's translating it into English so viewers can check it out for themselves, and maybe they might find it to be interesting. And she's doing it without any kind of translation element or an emulator. She's doing this just by looking at the text or hearing the conversation and translating it for us to hear, which I think is really neat. And some of those titles include the Fatal Frame Saga, or hang on, I actually wrote this one down because I'm pretty sure I'm still going to slaughter it. Shin Haragami. She said it in her titles, but I still think I slaughtered that, but whatever. Anyway, I think that is a niche that is not often tapped into in the gaming saga, and I think that's really cool that she's doing, because that's also an interest for her from what she said, and in turn, it imprints onto us. I do like a good J-horror movie or a K-horror movie, but the translation from reading the text in a J-horror game it's a mountain for me to look at. It kind of makes me go, and if I have had a long day, I'm going to feel really dubious about wanting to play that. But seeing her play them in how she does it, I think is awesome. So that's just number one why I like her. Number two is her personality while she plays the games. She is one of the most calm content creators that I have seen while she's playing a game. And I know that sounds cliche, like I said, but here's the thing. How many content creators that do the Let's Plays are so over the top and dramatic? And I'm not talking about the big ones like, say, Markiplier or Jacksepticeye. Think about some of the more, I guess, not mid-range people or lesser-known content creators. It's so easy to be dramatic, to scream and yell and go completely, crazy if something scares you or if something frustrates you. I mean, okay, yes, I am guilty of that myself. If something really freaks me out, that I might react involuntarily, and it still embarrasses me in hindsight after I'm watching my playthrough and go, oh my god, I can't believe I did that. Gab is so calm throughout the whole process, and she's also explaining things as she does it, whether it's an old indie title or just an older retro game like some of the Silent Hills, to one of the newer ones that she's doing, and she doesn't leave that calmness, and it really makes you feel like immersed. At least in my opinion, I feel more immersed in the game because she has that kind of soothing personality and that funny and that calm voice, and I think that's awesome because I can count the number of content creators on one hand that maintain that throughout the course of the game, and even if something does startle her or scare her or annoy her, she's going to be very matter-of-fact about that. She's going to say, okay, I expected that, or okay, wow, that scared me. And of course, I'm not doing it justice. You really need to go check her out for herself and how she does it, because I think that's really cool. I think that's really amazing, and is one of the other reasons why I like her. It adds to the immersiveness of the games that she plays. Number three that I like about her is her interaction with her fans. And I know I've said this on numerous occasions with other content creators, but that is such a key and integral, excuse me, it's been a long day, thing that separates some YouTubers and content creators apart from the others. And it's easy if you're a small-time content creator like, say, Harkov or myself or Josh Wasabi, to some of the more mid-range content creators like Lady Lilia or CJU Games, but having over 68,000 subscribers, it's easy to get lost in the minutia of comments and questions and just things like that, whether it's a private message, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Twitch. Gab is quick to get back with even just something as simple as a thank you, or saying thanks for your advice, or I will try that next round, or come check me out on Twitch if you missed it. It's very sweet, it's very endearing, and it makes you feel a part of that gaming culture, whether you are a long-time fan, whether you're a first-time fan or something like that. And once again, that's not just on YouTube, that's on Twitch. And she also has a Discord channel. And spoiler alert, I do follow her on Discord. I am friends with her on Discord. I probably started taking a serious conversation on her Discord channel, I'd say maybe barely a month ago, maybe a little bit longer if that. And she was very quick to welcome me. She was very quick to say, "Hey, Boogie Night, how are you?" And the more interactions that I've done, she started recognizing that a little bit more, to the point, like I said, I consider her a friend, and we've never met before, but the conversations we've had and the times that I've spoken with her on Twitch, or the times she's replied to me on Discord or YouTube or by email or regular letter, it's very kind. And it's not just towards me, it's towards the entire community, no matter if it's small or large. And that separates her from so many other content creators. And that's just another reason why I like her so much. Well, I'm not gonna say bad things, but I mean, it's just, if more content creators, no matter whatever the size they are, could just take that extra second to say thank you, or, thanks for taking the time to look at me, without it being automated, I think that would be just an amazing thing. And I'm not going to name names out there, but it's one of the other reasons why I think Gab is so heartwarming, and it's probably one of the sweetest content creators that I have ever interacted with on YouTube and Twitch alone. It's fantastic. And it's one thing for me to sit here on a couch with a roaring storm outside, talking about and gushing why I like her channel, and talking about just the games or her personality or anything like that doesn't do her justice, as I've said so many times. So whether you're a horror fan or not, or anything like that, as always, check out her channel, even for just a few minutes. I'll put a link to her YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter pages in the description below, but take a few minutes to go check her out. See what you think. Subscribe if you like, or anything like that. And yes, I know normally I focus more on the lesser known or the up-and-coming content creators, but because of just everything that Gab does, and that she includes with her whole YouTube just persona, from one thing to the other, it really warrants checking her out. Gab, I really hope I did you justice and your pages justice by talking about everything like that. And to the members of the Galaxy, please be honest. Let me know what you think about how this went, because you've known her a lot longer than I have. And of course, to everybody else who is watching this, whether you're a fan of hers, whether you don't know who she is, let me know in the comments below what you think. But other than that, guys, it's storming like hell outside. That's a good sign. But other than that, y'all have a wonderful evening, and I'll catch you on the flip side, alright? Peace.